Until the great cause of our time. Thank you, Reverend Sharpton, for insisting that we not forget where we come from.
I have a right to be here. Look, this is what I'm saying. You guys are saying you're here for the spirit of
For
King.
your safety, it'd be better for you to go.
That's right.
Why? Are you?
For you to go.
That's not.
It'd be better for you to go.
I don't believe people who believe in King's spirit would do that. I don't believe that.
When you challenge the two pro-slavery parties of your time, and to be bold, President Lincoln, let me say,
Guys,
independent to
look.
independent.
Hang on. I'll listen to you. Okay? I'll listen. Listen. You want to talk about this man's spirit that he's wearing there? Dr. King never, ever used violence or disrespect.
I'm not going to use violence against you.
I don't think you
I'm about
would
to go to
either.
law school and all that, brother.
Sir, I didn't say
about
you.
right now, you are disrespectful. And you shouldn't come here and be disrespectful.
Disrespectful to who? If you guys really want the spirit of King, sir, you would turn around and tell Al Sharpton to leave.
We're not you guys.
No, I didn't. Excuse me. I actually referred to him as sir.
Who grew up poor and became a psychologist. When you told the world there was no shame in being maladjusted, because we all should be maladjusted to war, to hate, and to poverty. I felt so proud to be among the maladjusted, and I will always be proud. Thank you, Dr. King, for giving us that therapy. It's curative. My final message is for the President of the United States.
Oh, God, I got to hear this one.
President Obama,
You're going to distort the message.
you have a mighty crisis on your hands. And if that weren't enough, the Republicans want to destroy you, and the Democrats want to own you. That makes it hard to do right by the American people. And I know that you're getting lots of advice from the experts, from the insiders, about how to make this economy better. That's good, but that's not enough. Mr. President, you must find a way to listen to the outsiders. The outsiders are the poor. The outsiders are millions of black youth who lack development and opportunity, our children. The outsiders are angry at the excesses of Wall Street. The outsiders, Mr. President, are the 40% of Americans who aren't Democrats or Republicans, but are independent. The outsiders are the maladjusted from all walks of life. And we will not adjust to poverty. We will not adjust to war. And we will not adjust to partisanship. Extend your hand to the outsiders, Mr. President, and we will help you lead the way. No justice, no peace, no development, no learning. Thank you.
Nora Fenati, let's give her another round of applause.
There's somebody out there with a bullhorn.
Yes, sir.
You know, like there's only one podium, and that's up here.
Would you be willing to give me the opportunity to
So
speak?
the reality is, we can ignore this individual and move on, because we're about righteousness. We're about what's correct.
And that's exactly what Dr. King was about, and Al Sharpton has distorted that for years.
I got to tell you something.
Yes, sir.
You are so far outnumbered. You either got to be the dumbest sucker I know. And so,
excuse me, sir.
You go find the teacup.
Okay, there was
back to that tea party you came from.
Where is not part of the tea party, sir? And it's in the spirit of King. You don't get scared.
In the struggle, two very dear friends come to us now. First of all, Laura Murphy, president of the AFL-CIO, and Donna Payne of the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force. Please welcome them both warmly.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning and greetings from the ACLU.
I came here. Okay, but you need to understand something. I gave Al Sharpton plenty of warning I was coming today. Okay, look, you say that this is a march for justice, right?
He's here to demonstrate to get you all riled up.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
We are all governed by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. All right.
Oh, so in other words, you're saying that Dr. King's dream doesn't mean anything, right? Huh? Okay, so...
Words to enforce.
Huh?
The ACLU fights for free speech of everyone, whether it's Tea Partiers or those occupying Wall Streets and dozens of other cities in America. But free speech is not
I'll be more than happy to talk to you if you want to talk somewhere.
We must also assure values like due process of law and equal protection of the law. If we do not fight for all of the values of the Constitution and Bill of Rights, we are not serious about finding genuine solutions to the problems facing Americans, and we are not honoring Dr. King.
Exactly.
We are witnessing
a
resurgence of states' rights going through the country.
Don't go too far now. My camera won't reach.
Some states are thumbing their nose at the very constitutional values that bind us together as a nation.
Let's go over here and come down. So you are with the National Action Network?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what exactly is it that you guys want to discuss?
I was told that somebody was causing controversy, and I was asked to come over and talk. So I guess, what do you want to talk about?
Well, actually, no one was causing controversy except the people standing in front that didn't believe that Dr. King's message should be corrected here. I mean, Dr. King wasn't about hate. He wasn't about calling people names, and Al Sharpton is. And I was simply pointing out the fact that people need to stop letting Al Sharpton make a living and living large on other people's backs. Al Sharpton on a daily basis promotes racism and makes racial attacks and calls people he has no idea who they are racist because they don't agree with Obama's policies or they don't agree with Chris Matthews or whatever. That's not true. That's not Dr. King. Dr. King didn't call people names that disagreed with him. Dr. King didn't tell mobs to try to silence somebody from giving their opinion. And yet that's exactly what this group is doing today. How can you say you're respecting Dr. King's dream, and yet you've got people telling me on your stage that, you know, for my own safety, I'm outnumbered. I've got people in this group telling me that I need to get out of here before I can't get out of here. That's not Dr. King.
Somebody said that to you?
Yeah.
That's not what our stance is. That's not what my stance is.
Well, see?
And so, I mean, but put it like this. Like this. There's people speaking. There's somebody talking.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're trying to listen,
but when they say something that's blatantly false, they need to be called on it. Look, I came from a union home, okay? I know what they do when you don't agree with them. So when you get a union rep up there talking about peace and justice and togetherness, that's bullshit.
But what's the problem though? What's the key?
I don't have a problem. Apparently the ladies want you guys to have me removed from the park. Legally, you can't do that.
Okay. You know, I mean, nobody's gonna. I'm not sure what the misunderstanding is. I'm not sure what happened. I'm a volunteer, you know what I mean? But I know this is supposed to be
It's supposed to be a rally for jobs and justice. And no, for jobs and justice. Okay, do you see this t-shirt? Do you see what's on this t-shirt? Why is Al Sharpton not calling for justice for this murdered black man? Because he's connected to Obama?
But did you know he was there though?
Huh?
Did you know he was there with the family?
Who?
He was there for 3 days with the whole family.
Sharpton was there with the young family.
The whole time, for 3 days, up until the hour he died. And he was actually asked to sit inside the execution chamber and he prayed with the family.
No, I'm talking about Donald Young.
Right.
This is a choir director from Trinity United Christian Church in Chicago that was murdered in his home on December 23rd of 2007. Sharpton wasn't there with this family. Sharpton hasn't mentioned the fact that this man was connected to Obama and killed 8 days before the Iowa caucus. Al Sharpton hasn't touched this, and he wants justice. Then he needs to give justice for everybody.
But there's a lot of other leaders too.
But, okay, no, I understand that, but I don't consider Al Sharpton a leader because I've watched him. I've grown up with him. I've watched this guy turn around and make a living off the backs of people he claims to represent. It's so easy for people to forget about Tawana Brawley.
But how? But like, because I had it's funny. I had the same argument. I had the same misconceptions.
Okay.
Like, I did. I felt like, I didn't know what he stood for.
But do you condone him being on the radio and calling people racist just because they disagree with the president's policies? Do you agree with that?
Has he actually called somebody a racist?
Yes, he has actually
said somebody said something racist.
No. He has actually accused people of being racist on MSNBC. Okay, and you can't do that. I mean, that's not Dr. King. Dr. King didn't antagonize. He didn't attack people. And you got groups here that are actually promoting the attacking of someone because they disagree with a union representative. What do you mean no? I've got videotape of them telling me that I better leave before I can't leave.
I'm sure it's, but that I want to go on record.
Yeah, I understand. And that's just like the Eagle. You know, the Eagle wants to refer to me as a Tea Partier. I have absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the Tea Party. I do believe in King's dream, but I believe it to be in the spirit of King and not the spirit of Al Sharpton or Michael Bateson or, you know, the Richard Trumpka.
But of course,
you know.
But isn't it the choice of all these people that came here to support? Like, there's other, like, can you support somebody that you do agree with? Like, why make a?
Well, no. Actually, I support marching for justice in the spirit of Dr. King. But what people are saying here, and what the Eagle just said on that stage, referring to me and telling me that I am so outnumbered, that's not the spirit of King.
The importance of freeing D.C.
True, but that's not King speaking. That's somebody else's opinion. That's somebody else's opinion, and everybody that's here.
Well, no, the ladies that came to get you guys have actually been quite polite and respectful, and you have too. You know,
like we have.
I will be honest with you. My whole purpose of being here is to wait for Al Sharpton to take that stage, to ask him 3 questions. If he chooses to ignore them, that's up to him. When I've asked him those 3 questions, I will be more than happy to walk away from him.
Right now.
Yeah, I just want to ask him, is he willing to sign over his MSNBC paycheck to the Occupy Wall Street crowd since he says that they're right? Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, does he really believe that Dr. King's dream was to attack people and harass people, which is exactly what SEIU and these other unions do because they don't agree with the president's policies?
What are we here to do? We're here to rally.
And 3, When is he going to stop living large off the backs of people that are in this crowd?
We need jobs around the country.
Can I tell you a very honest statement?
Reverend Sharpton for taking on this fight. Y'all, let's give him a round of applause.
And that's the guy's
He can't hit you back there. Let him
and
in.
it's a lot of stuff that isn't portrayed in the media. That a lot of
struggling against United States Department of Agriculture, but
he may not help.
I want to talk to you about
It's not a matter of him helping Mr. Young. It's a matter he has a microphone and a platform to where he can call out the president.
Of course. But there's a lot. It's like that's one person. You depend on one person to shout out every issue. Like, it's a lot of other leaders.
Oh no, he definitely picks the issues that are politically convenient for him.
But let me also say something. I know for a fact, as close as I am to the family, that he's helped the victims. He's put people up in hotels out of his own paycheck. He's paid for people's law fees without any restriction.
Well, no, I don't.
Hold on, real quick. So the statement of living off of people's backs is totally false. And it really is. Like it really, honestly is.
Then he should have absolutely no problem, releasing his tax record so that the people that he claims to be helping can see just how much he does make. Hey, you've got a group here with the SEIU that's talking about the rich need to pay their fair share, and I asked one of them, does that include Al Sharpton? And they said yes. Okay, so let's make Al Sharpton put up or shut up. I don't want.
Should we do that for every millionaire?
Of course. But if you're going to do it, don't have people sitting there acting like they're willing to do it. Al Sharpton ain't going to sign over his MSNBC paycheck. You know that, and I do too.
Why should he?
It's not that he should.
Are you going to sign yours over?
Hell no.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out.
Hell no. And you shouldn't either, and nobody else should.
So then why should he?
Martin Luther King believed that people should have the right to make a life for themselves. Al Sharpton wants everybody to be given everything. That's not right.
I don't think that's an accurate statement.
You don't think so? Okay.
I don't think that's an accurate statement.
Okay.
Honestly.
All right.
Well, I guess just.
I mean, if Sharpton doesn't want me to ask him the questions in front of the media, then all he has to do is walk around the corner there and let me ask him, and if he chooses to answer him, fine. If he doesn't,
the next speaker is
fine.
Head of the hip-hop.
Okay.
So we don't want you to ask the question
his assistant,
because it's disturbing everyone else.
Reverend Earwood, and we're going to talk.
But otherwise he can't hear.
This is a big issue, ladies and gentlemen. Please
There's a lot of
welcome
different ways.
the head of the hip-hop caucus, the Reverend.
I guess you live in Washington, right? Mm-hmm. Because he has open forums all the time.
First and foremost, you can do better than that. Somebody can make some noise.
But he comes to D.C. to steer people up.
I don't got much time.
So,
I don't got much time.
Okay.
But you're doing the same thing.
What's going on? I said,
all I'm doing is asking questions.
Make some noise. Oh, there you go.
You're coming to
That's it.
where people are here for a conference.
I'm so happy to be here as president
Look,
of the Hip
you
Hop
have
Caucus.
Richard Trumka on this card as being someone who is going to speak to this crowd. And Richard Trumka is one of the most violent of union leaders in this country. And you're going to tell me that this march is about the legacy of Dr. King? No way. You cannot have that man speaking here and claim that you're doing this in the spirit of King. Oh, I'm going to as soon as he gets up on stage.
One of the things that's happening in 2008,
If I'm not drug out of here first.
You had a can't stop, won't stop spirit.
Oh, I'm not talking about anybody
and
here.
you made a difference. But because of your action, because of what you did in 2008, we have seen voter ID laws that have come all around this
Your name?
country. We have seen.
Come on, I'm not gonna attack you. All right, then here, just let me see the pass there. Just stick the pass up. Well, it's just easier to say who. Hey, I would rather name the people that were respectful and considerate and wanted to talk like human beings, as opposed to those that's over there talking about, you better get out of here while you can.
Repeat after me. Somebody say respect my vote. Respect my vote. Respect my vote.
I have been peaceful.
It's just sad to me.
Look, I want Al Sharpton.
Gentlemen.
If Al Sharpton gets on that stage, oh no, but I'm the only person that has one he's going to run from.
How many young people we got out here today? That's everybody. Here representing the youth wing of the National Action Network, Victoria Pinnell, the Youth Move Director, and Paul Slyman, the official youth representative of the National Action Network. Please welcome them warmly.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Love, concern, and commitment to making a difference brought us together to Washington, D.C. We have taken the time to be here because we know change is possible. How exciting to be with people that know to bring change, you need action. Whenever I'm in Washington, D.C., I look around at all the government buildings and realize I'm in one of the most powerful places on earth. Being in D.C. also makes me think of my favorite saying. When the power of love overcomes the love for power, the world will know peace. It is a quote by the late Jimi Hendrix. If our elected officials followed that principle, I will be able to say I'm in Washington, D.C., one of the most loving places on earth. Instead, I stand in our nation's capital where there is not enough love, too much injustice, and very little peace. Too many of our politicians, Wall Streeters, and large corporations are guilty of stealing from Americans one of the most basic things we need to survive, and that is hope. Hope gives you the will to survive. It is hard to have hope when you cannot afford to take care of your family. When the hopeless outnumber the hopeful, you will get chaos. Politicians, Wall Streeters, and large corporations, do you see how chaotic our country has become because of your need and love of money and power? One of the reasons Occupy Wall Street and other Occupy locations are growing is because people are tired of seeing politicians putting Wall Street and big businesses first. Wall Street should be taxed, and there should be tax increases for the wealthy. To whom much is given, much is expected. But we all have to pitch in and make a difference. I love when Miss Oprah Winfrey said every one of us was born with the ability to make a difference. I truly believe that. I also don't believe that you have to wait till you're an adult to make a positive mark in society. We have young people all across the United States working to make their country a better place. I'm on board because the expectation from myself has been raised. To the politicians, raise the level of expectations in yourselves. Stop letting little boys and girls see you on television, blatantly disrespecting the president with name-calling. You can disagree with the president without being disrespectful. How can you tell children to behave? Don't be a bully. Stop the violence when you're not setting good examples. The name-calling is childish, at times racist, and makes you have something in common with the bullies. To be an elected official, you have to be a certain age. In other words, you have to be a grown-up. So act like it. Display real leadership. Work with the president to create jobs instead of working against him. Collectively come up with active approaches to solve issues. Most important, do what is best for the people. Let your love of country be stronger than your love of power. Dr. King put it best. He said we must learn to live together as brothers or perish as fools. I don't believe Dr. King would have a memorial here on the National Mall, the first non-president to be so honored, if he craves power more than love. There is no greater love than putting your life in danger for the advancement of mankind. He was the epitome of the quote, when the power of love overcomes the love for power, the world will know peace. So let us all use the example set for us by Dr. King and show the world that the power of love is stronger than the love for power. Thank you.
The only problem is you need to put down on both sides of the aisle.
Bentley University in Boston, Massachusetts. I was a summer intern at the National Action Network this summer, and I left there with a number of valuable lessons and experiences. Prior to my internship, I had no experience or familiarity with civil rights or social justice in any way, but I'm fortunate to have finished my summer a more enlightened person. As Americans, we proudly make up the greatest nation in the world.